Hey guys, it's James Holt, and today I'm going to be telling my story with online marketing, making money online, the whole journey from start to where we are today. This could be a long video. I'm actually giving myself the permission to ramble, which I tend to do anyway, but today it's official. I am allowed to ramble about anything I want and go on a few side tangents. We shall see where this goes. I've got this outlined, what I want to talk about roughly, but we will see where it goes. Hopefully there was some value in this, especially if you're just getting started. You want to see how I transitioned, how I progressed, and hopefully I can drop some wisdom from time to time. So by the way, let me know if you like this new format, sort of almost like a podcast. I'm thinking about doing more videos like this because they're easier for me to record and I enjoy doing them. I enjoy the more toned down version, not having to be all hyped up, hyperactive YouTuber. Just a bit more quiet, getting to know me, getting to know what I do. You can benefit a lot from experiences I've had, I think, and yeah, let's get right into it. So, James Holt, who am I? Well, I'm a young guy. Pretty normal guy actually. Go to school, make money online. That's probably the part that isn't quite as normal. I like playing sports, I like doing all that normal young guy stuff, going out, having fun. But what I do differently to most is I don't just hang around with friends, I don't just watch TV, I don't really waste much time when I'm at home, because when I'm at home not doing anything else, I'm working. And of course you know what I work on. I do dropshipping, I do niche sites, or I used to do them more than I do now. We'll get into that in a minute. And of course I work on these videos, on the personal branding stuff, teaching you guys how to make a little bit of money as well online. So how I got started was I was 16 years old and I wanted to make money online. I don't really remember why. I think I was just bored. I'm a very good student. I find school easy. I spend a lot of time playing sports, lifting weights and doing all that stuff, and yet I get very good grades. So yeah, I sort of was looking for a challenge, and I've always been interested in money. I've always been trying to make money. When I was 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, I was doing sort of work around the house, always trying to find out a way that I could get paid by my parents or by neighbours or whatever to make a little money on the side. I was always doing that from a very young age, and I actually got into online marketing when I was like 12 or 13, and that is just crazy to me. So when I was that age, I started websites. I started WordPress sites. I was on WordPress.com back then. I started a blogger site, and I eventually made enough money. I got someone to pay me for work I did for them. Like I made like 50 bucks or something, or 80 bucks, so that I had enough to fund my first proper website. So I needed the money to start a .com website with a proper host, and I somehow got someone to pay me via PayPal for some kind of work. I wish I remembered what it was. Probably something to do with Photoshop. That's what I used to do. My first sites, they were about photography, they were about Photoshop, and somehow I got that done. Still can't believe I managed that. And I eventually shut the site down because even back then it was all anonymous, so I wasn't putting my name or my face out, obviously at 13, but I also wasn't telling my parents about it. So eventually I think they kind of found out, or at least were suspicious, which is when I kind of panicked and shut it down. I once got a card home, like a letter, and it was open. It wasn't in an envelope. It was just like a little promo card from Google AdSense. I was like 13 years old at the time. So yeah, that was an uncomfortable moment when my parents asked me what that was. And later there was an issue with sort of, they found out the site and I didn't have voice protection or whois protection at the time. So the things you learn at 13 when you're trying to build websites. Shut that down, and I sort of forgot about the whole business for a few years until I found the interest again at sort of 16, 17. At the time, I was reading Good Looking Loser, Chris Deodudes, something like that. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name, but he helped me a lot. He was a great guy. Of course, never met him or anything, but just his content really helped me when I was 14, 15, sort of social issues, that kind of thing. Sort of turned my social life around from being a rather quiet guy who had friends, but not the cool friends I wanted, and later at 16 it really took off, the whole social life, and I guess that's why I was bored, because I'd turned my social life around. I saw that putting in work, it worked, you know. If you try to make a change in your life, it can have an impact, and I did that in a year or so when I changed schools, so that's probably why I was bored. I had the girl I wanted, I had the social life I wanted, and now I needed a new challenge, which brought me to making money. And at the time, Chris started writing about sort of niche sites, and it was actually quite a clever idea of his. He wrote a blog post about how to make money as an affiliate for his specific company, and it was Happy Hippo Herbals, and a Kratom company, Kratom. And I actually did that. I mean, I made money with his affiliate program, but also with quite a lot of others. So I used what he taught and I combined it with my own research, and I became successful against all common sense. This 16-year-old with very little experience in anything in life really somehow started making money online when most others failed. Begs the question, why did I succeed when everyone else failed? Well, I was studying copywriting before that. I'd read on, must have been Wall Street Playboys at the time. Again, crazy, I was reading that at 16. But they'd recommended learning copywriting, and the way I do is I just pick up a book and I start reading, and it really interested me. I thought copywriting was fascinating, and just the whole sales stuff, it interested me, and I read a few books, and that is another way that I got into online business. I can't remember what came first, whether I started a website first or did copywriting first. I had a few blogs. I had one blog in particular that was just about weight loss and fitness. Not a great site, actually a very crappy site. I had a few different domain names. It got progressively better, so each attempt I got better, and that's really the story of my online business life. Each attempt I get a little better, and if you improve consistently over 2 or 3 years, you will get to quite a nice stage, quite a nice level of experience, and also make some money, hopefully. So I can't remember whether the blogs came first or whether I got into copywriting first. Actually, I believe the weight loss blogs were first, and then I didn't make any money with them, obviously. And then I started doing copywriting. I did freelance copywriting, and that's sort of when I started to really figure things out. I made like $200 or $300 on Upwork, which is nothing, but it showed me that making money online was possible. And then shortly after that, I started Red Pill Reviews, and that's when things started going well and taking off. So in the early days, I was journaling everything on the Good Looking Loser forums. I think I wrote a journal post just about every day, just about what I'd been doing, and I got some feedback, met some guys who were doing well, and also people started asking me questions, which was crazy at the time because I knew nothing. But anyway, so I was answering their questions, and I decided to start my own blog with just reviews of different products in this sort of red pill manosphere area. And that's when things started going well. Before we get to that, let's actually talk about copywriting. So I made a few $100s on Upwork copywriting, and at the time I had basically no experience. I mean, I'd read a few books, I'd copied some sales letters, I'd improved a little, but I was not a copywriter by any means, and yet I was getting paid like $15 to $20 an hour, which is okay, nothing special. to write copy for different companies, and I also did some translation because I'm bilingual, German and English, so that was another easy way to make a little money. The way I got my first copywriting job is I offered to rewrite a sales page for a guy, and I assume his site is still around. It's called Sexy Style for Joe. It's quite a good style, sort of a style for men website. I like the guy, I like his style, and I offered to rewrite his sales page, and I did it for free, so he took me up on that, and that was my first experience, and it allowed me to go to clients on Upwork, say, well, I wrote this website, so that was really useful for that purpose. That was my first experience sort of my first experience working as a copywriter. Then I got some jobs, made a little money, but I was never really happy with that. I mean, Upwork, it's a real hustle. If I was making $20 an hour, I'd be happy with that, but that's only billable hours, so you have to find clients first, you have to negotiate, you have to send out messages, and that eats into your time, so you probably spend about half your time just trying to get clients, which really lowers your average hourly income. So that's the problem with Upwork, at least the way I was doing it. I was not experienced, I was very, very new to the platform, but I made a few $100s, which was cool at the time. And then I started Red Pill Reviews. Now, not sure if I've ever talked about this, but the inspiration for Red Pill Reviews was actually a guy called Dylan Madden. I can't remember the name of his site at the time. He now runs camandcollected.com, and he posted a review of Red Coffee on Twitter. It's this coffee brand again by Victor Pride and Chris from Good Looking Loser. And what he did was he made a YouTube video reviewing the coffee, and he posted a short little review on his blog. Now, I saw this post on Twitter because Chris and Victor, who both have somewhat of a following, they both shared it. And that's when it sort of clicked for me that writing reviews could be a good business model, especially if I could get others to share the review. And that's how I got into writing reviews with Red Pill Reviews, and later with my niche sites. I reviewed a bunch of the products from Red Supplements. Of course, I always then mentioned Victor Pride and Good Looking Loser whenever I posted a review. They shared them, and because I had some experience with copywriting, because I'd studied that, I was able to get quite a few sales from them, which was great at the time. And I think those Twitter shares, they also helped me in the search engines. I mean, it was a new company, Red Supplements, so there weren't many reviews for the product, and because these two fairly big guys, at least in this little sphere, were promoting it, people were searching for reviews, and my site was coming up. So that was my first experience sort of making money, converting Google traffic, people searching for reviews, clicking on my affiliate link after reading my review, and buying products. So I made a few $100s with that again, which was my first real success with affiliate marketing and SEO. At that point, I was making passive income for the first time, which was great. Another product I started promoting then was Kinobody. So Greg O'Gallagher, you may know him from YouTube, big fitness guy. I was promoting his products, which at the time was doing really, really well for me. Had a few scares with that. Kinobody has actually taught me a lot about online business, just watching what he does. He's got a really good funnel, possibly the best fitness marketer, although I'm not much into the fitness niche anymore myself. I sort of got all the info I need from it and left. But I'm impressed with his marketing, the way he does paid ads, the way he has his funnel set up, the way he sells his product. It's good, it's cool. And yeah, I had some scares with the affiliate program. It once went down, they just shut it down completely, then came back, and then it changed platforms, and the income dropped, then goes back up, and then you have crazy January sales, and then you have crappy sales in February. So it was all a bit all over the place with Kinobody, and that taught me a lot about just how inconsistent this online business stuff can be. But it, I think, probably was the largest income source in my first $1,000 month. Kinobody reviews, that's what got me to $1,000, along with Red Supplements, Happy Hippo Herbals, and a bunch of other products I was reviewing at the time. That was all on Red Pill Reviews. I think a large part of the reason I succeeded was learning to use Twitter to drive traffic, and it wasn't just about the direct traffic from Twitter. I really feel that the social shares boosted me in the Google algorithm. There was other sites that were bigger, more established, that just weren't ranking as well as me at the time, or possibly still, and I think Twitter traffic had a lot to do with that, just the social reaction. And of course Google's algorithm, it's kind of a secret. They're not open about exactly how it works, but I think it is official that they look at social signals, and that's what I experienced for sure. Perhaps another little shout out, one guy that helped me a lot, really a lot, was Robert Koch from 30 Days to X. He's a young guy and sort of a hustler. He's done a bunch of different things like myself, but is focused more on the copywriting, and of course, unlike myself, he was a little older, so he'd moved out, travelled, and was fending for himself, so he was earning his living online, and he was a big inspiration for me. And he also gave me a lot of good information one-on-one and also through his blog. He taught me how to write reviews. He sort of connected the copywriting skills to writing reviews and building niche sites, which is then what I got into after, or while I was still doing Red Pill Reviews. So once I started making more money with Red Pill Reviews, I also built up a bit of a following on Twitter and started going into sort of my own self-help, my own advice content, because at that stage I'd managed something that most people just dream of, making $1,000 a month online, quote unquote, passively. That is something that a lot of people dream of, that they wish they could do, but they just don't see how to do it. They don't know how. They just possibly don't even think it's possible. So I'd achieved something at like 17, 18 that most people never have done. And naturally people started asking questions, so I started writing posts about what I do and giving advice. That's sort of the precursor to what I do now, just on a much smaller and much less professional level, in my opinion. So on Red Pill Reviews, I started giving advice. I started writing about niche sites. I started doing all of that kind of thing. Something else I did, so if you're a blogger, I can give you one piece of advice, very specific advice. Do sort of roundup posts where you link to the best content in your niche. And I'm not talking about the really big guys, so you want to have a mix of small up-and-comers with perhaps slightly bigger following than you, similar sized audiences than you, and even some much bigger audiences. And you want to do roundup posts where you say, these are the best posts I found this week or this month, and you comment on them, you add some value, you add your own thoughts, and you just really compliment them for their great insight or whatever, boost their ego a bit, and also just add some interesting thoughts that you have, because hopefully you are not just agreeing with everything they write, but you agree with parts of it, then you have something to add, something perhaps you disagree with, add your own thoughts to it, write your post, and then again promote it heavily on social media. Twitter was great for this. I made these roundup posts linking to all the best articles I found in a month, and then I added my own thoughts and mentioned all the people who I linked to in the article, who are always happy to retweet that, or not always, but often they are happy to retweet it, because first of all, you're linking to them, you're giving them sort of social proof, you're hyping them up, you're complimenting them, and hopefully you're adding some interesting thoughts to what they're saying. So people are often happy to retweet that kind of content, and again, I think that helped boost my entire site in the Google algorithm, not just that one post, because those roundup posts, they don't get traffic from Google because nobody searches for best manosphere posts in January 2016. Nobody searches for that. So your reviews, though, they will get boosted if you have them on the same site. Your information posts and your reviews, I think they get a boost in the Google algorithm from these social signals. So that's a little very practical tip for you guys who are still trying to build blogs. Not quite sure whether I recommend that at this point, but if you're doing that and you believe in the path, by all means give that a shot. That's sort of how I learned to use Twitter to drive traffic and improve my position in the Google algorithm. So it was also great for connecting with others, because I was linking to people, I was adding thoughts to what they're saying, and I sort of became a known person, at least in this little sphere. Very fun. It was probably the most valuable thing I did during this whole time, at least long term, because now as I launched the personal brand, James Holt, start selling stuff, people still knew me from before. I talked to people, I'd chatted over Skype, and when you have those connections, they stay with you even if you're no longer Red Pill Reviews, even if you're now a completely different business. The guys still know you, they still like you, and you can work together, which is what I've found to be very valuable now as I build the personal brand. I made quite a bit of money with Red Pill Reviews, but then I also started doing these niche sites, because as I started giving out more information on Red Pill Reviews, I sort of thought it was diluting the quality of my website when I was just constantly posting reviews, and there weren't that many new products I wanted to write about. I'd sort of maxed that out because I talked about all the products I knew and have experience with. So I started building niche sites in related niches and also completely different niches. I've done everything. If you're getting into niche sites, I have a book on that. It's called Easy Money by James Holt. It's on Amazon, I believe. Yes, it's on Amazon. And also you can find it if you go to Red Pill Reviews. It's like $17. It's not too expensive, but it teaches you everything I know about SEO. That's for building niche sites. I think it's a good book. I think it helps people, and I'm always surprised when someone buys it. I get like 1 or 2 email notifications a month of people who've bought it, even though I haven't like talked about it or promoted it in months, probably over a year now. So that's cool, and it's helped a few people start to make a little money online. Niche sites are a great way to do that. They really are passive income. I still, to this day, make most of my money with niche sites, although it is slowly dropping off because I'm just not working on it, and dropshipping, of course, is slowly increasing as I do work on it more. And how this personal brand will do that is a completely different question. We will see that in the future. If you want to do niche sites, the big question is always going to be what niche to get into, and since the goal is ranking in Google, I will give you one really simple piece of advice. That is, go for things that are outside the mainstream. Go for things that perhaps are a bit taboo. So talk about products related to supplements. I'm not talking about protein, I'm talking about more sort of underground supplements that perhaps you know about, you use, but you wouldn't find at a GNC or whatever the big mainstream supplement store is called. Perhaps talk about sort of dating stuff, dating products, anything that you perhaps wouldn't bring up at a Thanksgiving or a Christmas dinner with your family. That's the kind of stuff that I have had success with as an affiliate marketer, just because there are fewer people writing about it because there's a taboo and people don't want to talk about it, even though the stuff works oftentimes better than the mainstream crap that's pushed on TV. But that's a completely different topic for a different day. Just a useful little piece of advice if you are doing niche site or SEO in general. So moving on, I have had quite a few transitions. So I started off doing blogging about fitness, then I transitioned to sort of freelance copywriting, Then I did the Red Pill reviews. Then I transitioned to more niche sites, and for a while, for about 6 months to a year, I was writing almost solely on niche sites, and then I even outsourced the niche site writing. And for each of these transitions, I sort of almost neglected the old businesses. So while I was doing freelance copywriting, I forgot about the old blog, the weight loss blog, thank God. But then afterwards, I also stopped freelancing once I found my first little success with Red Pill reviews. And then as my niche sites really took off, I slowly but surely started to neglect Red Pill reviews, because giving out advice just was nowhere near as profitable as writing these niche site reviews was. Eventually I wrote the book, so I focused a bit more again on Red Pill reviews, but again, I eventually moved on from that. As you can see, if you go to the site now, I haven't posted to it for quite some time. After Red Pill reviews and the niche sites, I wanted to get into paid traffic. I was making decent money with niche sites mostly, and also Red Pill reviews, but I wanted something that was more scalable, and of course that's the big advantage to paid traffic. You can scale to the moon. You can make 10 grand a month, 100 grand a month, at least in theory. So I joined Stack That Money forum, and I got into CPA affiliate marketing. I've got another video talking about that, by the way. Should have just released that in the past few days, past week or so, talking about how I went from CPA affiliate marketing to dropshipping. That was then my next transition. I tried CPA affiliate marketing for 3 months or so. I was really excited about it, really got into it, read a lot, tested a lot, worked on it a lot last summer, so about 9 months ago now. Lost some money up front, and then I made some money back, and eventually I sort of transitioned to dropshipping, which was a fairly seamless transition, because dropshipping, it's not just a trend on YouTube, it's also a trend within the CPA affiliate marketing space, because people are saying it's better to build something long term like a dropshipping store where you are the brand, you have the email leads, which is kind of the problem with CPA affiliate marketing. You're building someone else's company, which can be profitable. It has some advantages. You're more flexible. It's less work to set up. You just set up the campaign. You just do the marketing. You don't actually have to then have the customers do the customer service. You don't need to do any of that. So that's the advantage. The disadvantage is, of course, the company's paying you for the leads, so they're making more money from those leads than they are paying you. So that's sort of the trade-off, and that is why a lot of people are trying to get into dropshipping. And while I was a member, I'm no longer a member of Stack That Money forums, but while I was, they started releasing these guides to e-commerce, and specifically they were talking about Shopify dropshipping. That's how I got into the space. Sort of the quick version. If you're interested in that story, definitely look up the longer video on the channel about the transition from CPA to dropshipping. There's a lot in common between the two, and I would never have been able to succeed with dropshipping like I have without my experience as a CPA affiliate marketer. Same is of course also true, I wouldn't have been able to be as successful with dropshipping without my experience as a copywriter and writing niche sites. So the success I'm having now is just a culmination of all the skills and all the experiences I've had over the past 3 years since I was 16, 17, and it's just all coming together now. And it's what Scott Adams talks about in his book. It's the main idea. It's a skill stack, that you don't have to be exceptional at any one thing, because most people are not exceptional. If you are exceptional, you're probably not watching this. You're probably playing in the NBA or doing whatever. You're unlikely watching or listening to a YouTube video talking about my business story. But even if you're not exceptional, you can make an exceptional amount of money just by becoming good at a lot of things and combining them, because very few people are good at a broad range of skills, and if you can combine them into one business model, you can become a unique person because nobody else has those same skills as you. Complete oversimplification. Of course, loads of people have experience with paid traffic and copywriting. It's not that unique, but anyway. after dropshipping, or while also doing dropshipping, I have moved on to personal branding. It's what you're listening to. It's what you're following on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever you follow me. Personal branding, I think it has a lot of potential, but it's more of a long-term play. So I'm about to release the course. I've already probably done the pre-launch by the time you're listening to this. Will I make a lot of money with this? I don't know, but I'm enjoying it. It's fun to interact with you. It's fun to teach. I'm learning a lot, especially from our little insider Facebook groups. I'm learning a ton in there from you guys, and it's great to see people I'm teaching, people I'm helping have success with dropshipping. For a lot of you, it's your first online business, and I mean, I've been doing this for a year, 2 years, 3 years now, and I remember my first PayPal deposit from Kinobody or from Red Supplements. I remember those times, and it's a great feeling to actually see that this is possible, because in the mainstream people think making money online is a scam. Then you've got this huge difference between sort of mainstream people think everything related to making money online is a complete scam, and then on YouTube you've got people who say it's so easy, you can make millions, and the truth, I like to say, is usually in the middle. And yeah, it's possible. Making money online is not hard, but you have to figure a few things out. You have to stick with it, because your first venture with anything will fail. My first copywriting gigs I didn't get. My first websites failed. My first niche sites failed. CPA I more or less failed completely, or at least my first campaigns failed completely. Dropshipping, my first stores failed. Personal branding, well, we shall see. We'll see how it goes. You will always have failures, but the great thing is you will have failures, but the failures are on a small scale. Nobody hears about your failures. You're nobody until you succeed. And that's the great thing about the internet, because you succeed on a massive scale and you fail on the small scale that nobody sees, nobody cares about. And you don't lose much money, you don't lose much time, because the more, or at least if you're doing it right, you should be investing more time and money into things that are succeeding and very little time into things that are failing. So I test a bunch of different things. That's one of the things you don't necessarily see. I'm big on testing. I'm big on trying new things. You may not always hear about it, but I am testing a lot of stuff. I've tried importing goods in larger numbers, so not just dropshipping, but actually importing. That kind of failed. Then I'm interested in the whole cryptocurrency space. I tried trading them. I tried building a little brand around that. That failed. I shut it down, or just haven't worked on it. I'd try a lot of things, and I focus on the ones that are showing signs of success. So a while back I started both a cryptocurrency Twitter and a dropshipping Twitter. And for cryptocurrency I was of course a more or less complete beginner. With dropshipping I'd already had some success, so I just tested, well, which of these is going to take off, which can I say more about, which am I more interested in, and the dropshipping stuff just did way better, which at the time, I mean, it was the whole cryptocurrency boom, it was the whole hype around it, but still I was more knowledgeable about Shopify dropshipping, so people were more interested in what I had to say there. And because I had initial success there, I then spent more time focusing on that, and that is why I now do the whole personal brand in this area. So really the lesson there is test small and invest more time and money into the things that are showing signs of success. Except that you'll have failures, everyone has it, but you just keep moving forward, and even once you have your first success, keep trying new things. And yeah, that's how you build an interesting life, an interesting business. Because honestly, if you just keep doing the same thing, if all you do is dropshipping for the next 5 years, you will probably be bored. If you're the type of guy who succeeds with online marketing, you're curious about the world, you like trying new things, you like learning, then just doing one thing is going to bore you pretty quickly. Also, let's quickly touch on why I moved away from the Red Pill Reviews brand. When I launched this personal brand, I could have gone back to Red Pill Reviews, but I didn't really fancy it. I don't like the name. I don't associate with the red pill really. I think there's some good guys and some really strange guys. I don't like all the political stuff. I'm not a right-winger. I'm not a traditionalist, conservative, whatever you like to brand yourself. I'm not anti-social justice warriors. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm not anti-feminist. I am really none of that. I'm probably slightly more conservative than average in my local area, but I am quite far to the left of the whole red pill political community, which I just find strange because I don't know why they merged. The red pill stuff sort of started out with dating, then it went into general self-improvement, and then I don't know if it was through Mike Cernovich, but somehow it merged with this conservative, traditionalist stuff online. And it's kind of funny when you think that there's now a lot of red pill dads, red pill fathers, and I mean some good smart guys on Twitter that I do like and that I get on with, but I just find it strange how what developed out of the dating pickup artist industry has somehow now merged with this traditional conservative right-winger community. A little strange. Perhaps some of you that have been around longer than me can explain how that happened. I'd be curious to hear if any of you listening actually know that. But that's sort of why I moved away from the Red Pill Reviews brand. It served me well, it established me, it was my first real success with sort of passive income, but I don't like the name, I don't like everything it stands for. I don't like the red pill, and the reviews also just sort of take away from the advice I give. So that is why I've moved away and gone with the James Holt brand rather than Red Pill Reviews. Why did I decide to start teaching others in the first place? Well, like I said, I tested cryptocurrency and I tested dropshipping, and people were really interested in what I had to say about dropshipping. So I just put out information. I mean, I was by no means an expert when I started. I'm still not really the biggest expert. I mean, I've only been doing this for like 6 or 7 months now. And yeah, I succeeded pretty quickly because I came from CPA affiliate marketing, which helped me a lot, and I came from niche sites, so I had the copywriting down. So I have a unique insight into how to succeed quickly with dropshipping, and I think that kind of reflects in the guys I've been teaching, the guys I've been helping. I think they're succeeding a lot quicker than most people, or most YouTubers' students. I just think I've got a really good success rate as a teacher. But of course that's also just because of scale. I can help people more one-on-one than a big YouTuber can. That's just part of being small and still growing, helping people one-on-one. The reason I started teaching was just because I wanted to diversify. I mean, I've always been about testing new things, and I always enjoyed teaching. I mean, I enjoyed writing my Easy Money SEO affiliate marketing book. But now with dropshipping, there was a huge hype on YouTube. I wanted to get into the personal branding anyway. The question was just in what area, and the dropshipping stuff, it sort of fitted in well because I had a lot to say about it. I was doing it every day. I'm still doing it every day. So I'm always learning new things. So I'm not going to run out of content anytime soon, although I'm not sure how many more daily videos I have in me on dropshipping. You can perhaps tell that I'm sort of moving away and talking about more general online business stuff recently. That's just because honestly, after like 80 videos, there isn't that much more to say on dropshipping. I mean, it's not that complicated, and I see guys like Hayden Bowles, his content was brilliant. I mean, I really learned a lot from him, not from his course, but from his free YouTube videos. Nowadays, he's doing more sort of lifestyle stuff, and a lot of the dropshipping stuff is regurgitated. He said it before. And I mean, he says this openly. The truth is, there isn't that much to dropshipping. It's not a dig at him or anything, or at his new content. It's just that if people are interested enough and not lazy, then they can go dig through the archives of Hayden Bowles' YouTube channel and find all the stuff. That's just the truth. I mean, he doesn't have to release daily videos anymore to talk about everything there is to know about dropshipping. He already just about has. And for me personally, I've still got a lot to talk about, but I'm still trying to decide how much to release for free now that I've got my course recorded and I'm about to roll that out, starting with just a small exclusive group and then the official launch probably in a week or two. I'm still wondering how much to release for free. I'm probably going to release everything eventually, just in different formats, in different times. And while we're on the topic, the reason you should buy a course is not to get new information. All the information is out there, or almost all the information is out there somewhere, and the stuff that isn't, you'll either learn through experience or by researching and finding related articles that are not in the context of dropshipping, that are in some other context that you then have to apply yourself. So that's how I learned dropshipping. Either the info was already out there, I got it from my own experiences, or I connected the dots from a different business model and applied it to dropshipping. That is how I learned everything I know, those 3 ways. The reason you should buy my course or somebody else's course is because it's structured. I take you from the start, like from the absolute beginning, explain what you need to know about dropshipping, and I take you step by step, teaching you dropshipping from start to finish, and it's logical, it is structured. I don't skip ahead to something that you don't need to know until far later, and that's sort of the danger with YouTube, because it's not in a structured format. If you start following Hayden Bowles now, you're going to learn advanced stuff that just doesn't apply to you yet, when all you really need to figure out is sales and how to sell. So that's sort of the advantage of a course. It cuts time off your learning curve. It gives you everything, so you don't actually have to do much research yourself. You know enough after taking my course or any good course to make money. That's the advantage of buying a course. It saves you time, it saves you a lot of energy, and it shows you the path in a straight line without having to dig around and keep watching videos. The thing about YouTube videos is a lot of them repeat stuff. So a 15-minute video by Hayden Bowles, if I watch it now, it's probably going to be like 1 minute of content that is new to me, because I've watched his other videos. I know dropshipping myself, so most of it I already know, and just watching a 15-minute video, and somewhere in there's going to be 1 minute that I learn something. That's not a great use of my time, and not a great use of your time once you're more experienced with dropshipping. That's again the advantage of a course. You cut down on the amount of repetition. So when I record a video for my course, the 10th video assumes that you've watched video 1 through 9. You can't do that on YouTube. You have to keep sort of repeating yourself. When I talk about Facebook ads on YouTube, I have to keep repeating that people shouldn't be starting with Facebook ads. They should be starting with influencer shoutouts. You have to keep repeating that, and in a course you can just sort of take that for granted, because you have to assume that people have watched the whole course and listened to your advice and taken that to heart. So with that said, let's just talk about a sort of closing thoughts. Where do I go from here? And honestly, well, first of all, who the hell knows? I keep adjusting, I keep trying new things. If I try a new business model tomorrow and it takes off within a month, then you may find that the YouTube videos and the tweets and the emails don't go out as often anymore on the personal brand. That's just the way it is. I try new things, and when things take off, I prioritize them. Still go to school, I'm going to finish in the summer, and yeah, until then my time is very limited, so I need to prioritize business that is working best, and at the moment that is dropshipping. Of course, even if I'm making more money with niche sites, there's diminishing returns. So if I invest an hour into my dropshipping stores, that gets me more money, more extra money, than investing an hour into niche sites. That's something you have to remember. So that's why I'm prioritizing dropshipping over niche sites, even though niche sites still make me a little more as of now. But that's from work done in the past, and putting in an extra hour isn't going to dramatically increase my income from the niche sites. It's just not. Whereas with dropshipping it will, because if I improve my websites, add a new app, add some good sales triggers or a good sales funnel, then that will increase my profits dramatically within a week. So that's why I focus more on dropshipping than niche sites. And the personal brand, I'm releasing a lot of content just to see how it goes. You have to be consistent with it. You can't sort of dabble in it. and at least until I release the course, I should be doing the daily videos, and then we will see how it progresses from there in the future. I think I'm definitely going to talk about more broader stuff, so I might talk about a little bit about investing in the future, another topic that has interested me since I was a little kid. So yeah, I'm going to talk about more broad online marketing, money, investing, that kind of thing, not just Shopify dropshipping, because you will eventually run out of things to say with that, and I don't want to just keep repeating myself, keep repeating that people shouldn't start with Facebook ads. That kind of gets boring, and don't really want to feel like too much of a broken record, which I will do if I do these daily videos about Shopify dropshipping for a year or so. So where will I go from here? I have no idea, but I am very glad that you are here following the journey, and if you want to continue following the journey, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you like this type of more relaxed, just getting to know me video. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, whether that's about niche sites, copywriting, or anything else we discussed, or even if it's something we didn't discuss. Definitely let me know whether you like this type of content, because I'm here to give value to you guys. So if you don't like this type of video, then I'll stop doing them, or I won't do them as often. If you do like them, then I'll start doing them more often. That's sort of the flexibility we have with this online brand. So with that said, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.